Morning, guys. This is Johan here from IVA. So I'm going to introduce you quickly this morning to someone interesting. And we are going to talk a little bit about a new option for South Africans, for the mining industry and all of that when it comes to dozers. So I'm going to introduce you to Derek Engelbrecht, and we're going to take it from there. Derek, you can just give a little bit of background about yourself, and then we'll get into it.
Good morning, and thanks for having me. Obviously, as you mentioned, my name's Derek Engelbrecht. I am the director of World Focus 1724cc. I've been in the import-export game with China for the last 18 years. So recently, we have obviously come across an opportunity to bring a new brand, or not a new brand, a very old brand to the African market. The brand's name is HBXG. They've been around for just close to over 75 years. It's a very rugged, reliable, top quality machine that we're looking to bring into the country. We've made over the last year, we've gone leaps and strides into actually getting the machines here, making a plan for spare parts, for warranties, getting official recognition, getting all our paperwork sorted for the official brand recognition and for financing and for warranty purposes. So that's what we've been doing over the last year before we've actually tried to get a market share, try to push the brand hard. So over the last 6 months, we've actually started to advertise, reaching out to people as yourself, trying to get the brand name out there. Obviously, it's a very tight game. There's a lot of big name brands out there, and it's difficult to bring a new name to the market. But I myself and obviously HBXG, we feel that this is a good opportunity now to bring this to South Africa, as it is one of the top quality brands in the world at a reasonable and a reliable quality and a reasonable price. So yeah, I think this name is going to explode into the market very soon.
Okay, perfect. So that's a good rundown, Derek. I think let's start with you gave a good introduction.
Yes.
But let's first talk about the thing about China. We all know this.
Yes.
There's always talk around China where quality is basically given up.
Yes.
For price type of thing. You understand what I'm saying?
China's
Maybe just a little bit more about, because I heard you say that the company is already 75 years old. So that is quite a long-standing company when it comes to a product or whatever they do, and you do not survive 75 years without something being really quality. So maybe that part of where the manufacturer itself.
Yes.
Maybe speak a little bit around on that.
Yes. Well, HBXG's obviously, like I said, been around for 75 years. They started off in the 1950s. They obviously saw a need those days for bulldozers in the Chinese market. Those days, there weren't cheap Chinese products. They weren't, China has a stigma for fake and this and all types of things. There's only very few places in China that manufacture fake goods, obviously, but they're trying to make a living and trying to just produce as much as possible, as quickly as possible. This isn't the case when it comes to products like this. I've obviously heard a lot on comments on my posts that I do as well. Oh, it's a fake this, it's a fake that. It's not. It's a standalone machine. They have patents on their raised suspensions or their raised sprockets. They've been doing a lot of R&D into this. They're very innovative, and they've spent a ton of money trying to get the product to where it is today. So basically in 2010, they were bought over by a state-owned company called HBIS. That is one of the largest steel manufacturers in the world, Fortune 500 company. They obviously China buys about 70 to 80% of the world's iron ore. This way, they are able to obviously maintain high quality. They do their own castings and moldings. They manufacture everything in-house on their own lines. So they are able to obviously check quality, make sure it's reliable, do all their own tests, and make it cost effective. Because obviously they run a full line of a certain product at a time, and they can ensure top quality. Like I said, they own many patents on the dozers themselves. So this is not a rip-off machine. As we've seen lately in the news, all your luxury goods come from China. Even if it says made in USA or made here, whatever the case may be, the stuff is sent to China, it is made there, sent back, and then sold as so-and-so. China is obviously synonymous with cheap, fake brands. So yeah, I mean, like we obviously need to get past that stigma. I know there's a lot of other Chinese brands that are coming or are on the market at the moment. I don't like speaking badly of other machines. I know ours is a better quality product, and it's been going for a long while. I mean, we've even supplied goods to the UN, so the UN use our dozers in the field. So it's like the brand should speak for itself.
Yeah. I think when you talk about these other Chinese brands coming in and stuff,
Yes.
it's all good and well, but I don't think that brands is about 75 years old. That's where it comes in.
Yeah.
It's all of these new type of companies trying something out, making something cheaper to come in. It's like you said, I don't think people realize how much of the world's products
Yes.
actually comes from China. I mean, probably the Nike shoes you are wearing
Yes.
were probably made in China.
Maybe.
And yeah,
Yeah.
so the probability of that, and we don't always really understand where China is in the world because, like you said, it's a stigma.
Yes, it is.
So I think the most important thing we want to get over in this part of the podcast is to understand that this is a new option when it comes to doses in South Africa.
Yes.
That's the big part we wanna get across. And we spoke about the manufacturer history explanation a little bit. We spoke about the quality. Maybe we can just quickly run down not exact prices, but me and you were involved in something where we got to understand that we've got big brands in South Africa, and I think when we speak about dozers in South Africa and the biggest brand, everybody will know who we are talking about, the D9 whatever brand that is big in South Africa.
Yeah.
But with the one person, we got to notice that this brand is something like 5 million, between 4 and 5 million rand. It costs less than the big brand currently in South Africa.
Yeah.
And that's a huge gap.
Yeah.
When it comes to pricing. So maybe if you can just speak a little bit around the pricing, because that also fits into the stigma of China. Okay, it's 5 million rand cheaper, but is the product cheaper? And that's where that stigma comes from. Maybe speak a little bit round about that.
Well, yeah, we are basically comparable to two big brands. I mean, in the Northern Hemisphere, our competition is those two brands. We have basically the same quality machine. Our machines just obviously have a lot less tech. Our machines are made for rugged, far off places like where no man's land. So it's easy to maintain, easy to get or access to parts. Obviously, we will be the retailer for parts as well. We are bringing in all spare parts for warranty purposes, for after sales, all that. Now, basically, these machines don't have as much tech as the bigger brands. Obviously, I feel that obviously in our market, most of that tech, which costs a lot of money, can cause a lot of problems and is also, in most cases, the majority of the funding. So yeah, the prices.
So what you are saying is, and we've noticed it as well in the industry, is that high value type of doses, when it comes to problems, it's usually your type of computer problems, your tech problems,
Correct.
and that
Yeah.
it costs a crap load of money to fix that. That is where the problem comes in.
Yes. So, of course, like I had a call from a client now in Namibia. He's bought a certain type of machine, which we were also bidding for on this tender that he was working on. Those machines tend to break down because there's a lot of dust, a lot of rocky terrain. The tech is what let them down. Yes, they were able to send the machine there quickly within 4 weeks. Yes, they had machines on the ground now ready to go, which I don't have at the moment. But like I said, it's the machine costs about 40% more than ours. The machine broke down within the first week. And yeah, it was computer problems. And then obviously trying to solve those issues in the remote area is very difficult. Obviously, where our machines now are built for this kind of terrain, because they work in deserts and snowstorms and whatever the case may be in the Northern Hemisphere. So they are made for easy maintenance. They're made to be rugged and reliable. So, and obviously now another thing that affects the price of these machines is after the second-hand space, whatever you're dealing in. I know for a fact that obviously the big brand names, they go for about 40% less after they've been used for 10,000 hours or 20,000 hours, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Our brand I've noticed in the market is not as good as the big brands, but it still maintains a 50% to 60% of the sales price for a second-hand market. Unlike the other Chinese brands, which are basically 20% of the purchase price if you buy new.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
you need to consider that as well when looking at a machine of this quality, that the second-hand price is still decent. So you're able to make your money, do your job, and then if you want to sell it at a decent price after you're done with the machine. So we're not
Exactly, because of
sell a machine that you're going to use for 5,000 hours and then it breaks, or 10,000.
exactly.
I also spoke with another client who understands. He was comparing our machine to another Chinese brand, and he was like, yes, he understands that the other brand is a 10,000 hour machine, and then you chuck it for parts. But they were more focused on like the ripper tooth length, for instance. It was a lot longer than ours. I was like, but yeah, lesser quality skill and a lot longer is not going to work too well in very hard ground. It's going to break easily.
Exactly.
We put a lot of innovation and R&D into these things to make sure that everything is to spec and perfect and above standard industry standards. So we make sure that the stuff works. If you make it too long, it's going to put too much pressure on the gear. It's going to snap. It's going to break, and then it's a big balls up. We're not going for longer. Longer isn't always better.
Exactly. Yeah, so that's why, I mean, you touched on this, is that this type of machine is literally made for the African terrain. That is why it works here.
Yes.
It's made for this type of terrain, excluding all of the type of computers and all of that. You don't have breakdowns. It's easy to operate, that type of thing. Maybe give us just a quick example of where they are currently working in Africa.
Well, to be honest, there are 5 or 6 machines here in South Africa, but obviously it's working on a mine that the customers don't want people to come and look at and do this, and they obviously just want to keep their privacy and maintain the machines and keep them running. Other than Africa, I had a call yesterday, or actually the day before yesterday, from a customer in Mozambique. He's got a 2013 SD6 model, which I didn't even know about. Now he's looking for parts, and he's managed to find me. So I'm busy sourcing parts for him now. The other ones that I know of is there is about 3 or 4 in Kenya. The biggest buyer at the moment is Nigeria. Over the last year, their first order was 20 SD7Ns. The exact same customer, after the arrival of those machines, placed another order for 30 machines. So he's now, at that stage, he had 50 machines. Over the last year to date, I think they're now running 110 ST7Ns in Nigeria.
Yo.
Yeah, they are they are busy building something massive over there, and they're moving a lot of earth.
Okay, but that just shows you they won't, if this machine would break down the whole time, or they will have problems consistently.
Yeah,
They won't come back to 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 buy that type of quantity
yeah,
to go on working there. And
no,
that is just a testament of exactly what we're speaking about when it comes to doses, is because I will see in with us in the second-hand market as well. A
yeah,
guy would buy one of the big brands, and then a year or two later he would come back and say, never again. I'm
yes,
not buying that again.
I've heard
It
that.
was problems from the start
Yeah,
to finish.
yes,
So, and the amount of money it costs to fix that type of computer problem with the terrain and all of that.
yeah,
So I think that's a testament of, if they are willing to go that type of quantity to
yeah,
keep on working, something is working in that machine.
yes.
That
And that is
that's
also,
something.
yeah,
Yeah,
correct. That is also a customer buying it straight on his own. There's no HBXG agent there. There's no spare parts plan there. There's no one doing anything. They're using their own service agents, obviously. So what I'm
yeah,
trying to do in South Africa is now I am obviously a signed official agent of HBXG in South Africa. I'm trying to make the whole process as simple as possible, where we will obviously keep all the spare parts in stock for every machine ordered. So if we're ordering, say, for instance, 7D9s, we will keep 7D9s spare parts in stock at all times. And if there is an issue with any of the GETs or whatever, like the tracks or the Ripper shoes or whatever the case may be, filters, anything, we will keep stock of that in South Africa. And instead of having China replace it, because obviously the warranty is held with China, we replace in South Africa from our stock that we hold, and we replenish via China at a later stage. We are currently working on a decent plan to maintain spares and warranty parts in South Africa. We're trying to make this obviously as simple and as easy as possible. And HBXG is fully backing us, and they are trying to push as hard as possible as well. They're trying to help everywhere they can, because obviously they see a future in Africa as well, and they know this is at a very innovative time to be in Africa. Perfect time to
yeah,
come.
no, definitely.
Yeah, I've
So,
just found it's obviously very difficult to get a new name into the market. Yeah.
definitely, yeah. And I think that's the most important. If you get guys that are interested in another option when it comes to doses and being able to pay much less, um, is the fact that the after service, like you said now,
Yeah.
you're not going to have a problem with spares. It's going to be here.
Yes.
If something should go wrong, there
Yes.
is a warranty.
Yeah.
Also, maybe quickly, just how far, when you look at the product currently,
Yes.
it has to come in from China, so you order it and
Yes.
it's being imported into South Africa. But
Correct.
you told me this, I think it was yesterday or the day before.
Yes.
Financing is available, insurance is available,
Yes.
everything is available on this machine, which actually tells you
Yes.
it's a legit product
Correct.
that can be imported from China.
Yes, and the nice thing is that as well, I mean, when I met with Audio Capital, and we had a very great meeting, and I obviously explained the whole situation to them as well, and told them what the whole thing was about. They were very keen to jump on board, and they were very excited as well to help us out. They also have different tiers of financing available. So if the guys are struggling to get a bank like via Investec or African Bank or whatever the case may be, they do have tier 2 options available for private financing, whatever the case, to help wherever it is. Also, they do have like a 30 or 60-day option to start payments. So while they're processing and while we're bringing the machine in, you don't start paying. you'll obviously only start paying after the machine arrives. So everything will start arriving, and you can check and make sure everything's 100% before the payments actually start going off. But obviously, I don't know much about that side. They run that show. I just thought I'd
Yeah.
know this, yeah.
But it is available, and
Yes.
the reason why I asked you to explain that is somebody won't finance something that they're not sure about. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is definitely interesting. Also, just give us a rundown quickly. If you get a client that maybe wants um, 3 or 4, but they are not sure, they haven't seen the machine because there's not a dealership currently in South Africa. It has to be
Yes.
imported. You told me about an option to go and view in China.
Yes, of course. I mean, we obviously very transparent, nothing to hide. We actually invite the clients to fly up to China. We'll go visit the factory, go see how everything's manufactured and made, go look at the yard, go see all the machines, go take a test drive if you want, go ride through their buildings, check how reliable they are. But yeah, we are more than happy to invite you over to have a look-see and go check the actual quality. Obviously, once we have machines here on the ground, we would try and save on that and say, come view the machines here. But this will take a little bit of time just until we get all our ducks in a row and make sure everything's sorted. Also, if the clients are looking at 4 or 5 machines, another option is also HBXG will send an engineer or a diesel mechanic to you, so that you'll have someone on the ground here. If your orders, obviously, if you have a big tender and you want to make sure the machines are running properly or maintained properly, they will send people to be on the ground with you to make sure the machines are running and everything's sorted. They'll even help you train how to maintain the machine, how to service it, how to do whatever it is you need to do. Although it's obviously because of obviously for the higher undercarriage, it's pretty simple to maintain. Yeah.
Okay, Derek. So just to quickly sum up everything that we spoke about, it is a Chinese brand. We had a long discussion about quality of the manufacturing and all of that.
Yeah.
I think on that side of the machine. So literally the thing we want to get across here is that there's a new brand that is an option for South Africa. And the big thing to understand here is that when you look at the big brands, it is probably up to 40% less. Say, for instance, for a D9 Dozer, that option is available now without quality being less than the bigger brands. That's the big thing that you want to get across here. It's like the client that we spoke about the
Yes.
first time said.
Yes.
For if you buy three of these of these ones, you can actually the fourth one will be free.
Pretty much.
That's the impact on pricing. That's the impact
Yeah.
on pricing it has. And I really do believe when it comes to this that this might be an option for miners and for people
Correct.
with contracts and all of that in South Africa. If you want
Yes.
to say something quickly about that.
Yeah, well, obviously over the last year, we've spoken to quite a few people such as yourself. There is a company in Joburg we're busy dealing with at the moment as well, who are also helping previously disadvantaged miners trying to now get into the market. They obviously see our machine as also a great opportunity to assist them. They are doing a rent-to-own basis for these new startup mines. We're obviously going to be assisting them with machines, and then they will run the machine, or the project carries on for about, I think it's like a year or two. After that year or two, this company will actually give the machines to the miners themselves to carry on with future projects, which is a great thing, a
Okay.
great innovative thing that I am obviously fully backing and fully on board with. Obviously, a lot of, for instance, tenders that come across the table now to all the earthworks companies or the mining companies, whatever the case may be, they require a certain type of machine. on the equipment list. So all that plant equipment that is needed, we qualify as. So if it's asking for a certain type of machine, we have that machine or the same specs machine at a lot cheaper price. So obviously the contractor could obviously save a lot of money and make a lot more money for themselves. So it is a good other option in the market if you're looking to save money and not obviously not lack on quality or reliability, for instance. Yeah, as long as like as any machine, as long as you maintain it properly, check levels every morning, check all the points, make sure everything's perfect before you start running, the machine should last you a lifetime. Obviously,
Exactly.
all machines break. There are parts, hard wearing parts that obviously we will keep stock of. Um, we do have certain warranties on certain parts, different amounts of hours. Obviously, it's all fair, and if the machines are run properly and the terrain is not too hard, um, obviously those will all be covered if something does touch wood goes wrong. So yeah, I do see a fantastic future here for our machines.
Perfect. So that is just to close off. I mean, it's the full package.
Yeah.
You can get finance on it. You can insure it. It's not worse quality. It's literally another option
Yes.
that won't kill your bank account. That is basically what it is about. And also you said maintenance.
Yes.
And we spoke a little bit about the computer or the electronical
Yes.
technology part of it,
Yeah.
which these machines are very basic when it comes to that. These are workhorses,
Correct.
African workhorses.
Correct.
And um, I mean, even with the big brands and the guys with the extreme technology,
Yes.
you can't maintain technology, eh?
I
I
think
mean, if technology breaks,
yes.
it breaks. It's not something you can maintain,
Correct.
which is different to these machines.
Yes. No, like I said, there is some tech in the machines, obviously. I mean, they do a lot of R&D into making sure the machines are running like for the ECUs, for example. I mean, to make the engine run reliably and fuel efficient and make sure all that those things are running properly. Obviously, there's tech like that. But as I
Yeah,
said earlier, I think the big brands and their tech is very much wasted in our market. I mean, I know it comes in handy for a lot of the big companies, but for the smaller guys that don't need it or don't want it, they don't need that. It's a big waste of tech and money for the customer at the end of the day. So obviously we have a better option, I reckon, for the everyday man, not for the mega corps.
exactly. Yeah, perfect. So what I will do during this video, I will put up a few pictures to show the guys in the video. I'll also put a maybe put on the video of the D9, the physical video on the podcast as well for the guys to look at. But yeah, Derek, thanks a lot. I think this is a very good opportunity for, in the dozer market to have a second option for, like you said, the other guy that don't want to go and want to have an option where a machine is maybe 5 million rand less or
Yes.
40% less
Yes.
than the big brands, but can still do what he needs to do. I mean, that makes you immediately on a contract. If you go with this, immediately on a contract, you already put between 4 and 5 million rand back into your pocket. That is the thing,
Yeah.
and I think it's good to have an option like that. It also creates a little bit of
Yes.
more competition in a market which is basically only owned by maybe one or two brands.
Yes.
It puts back a little bit of competition
Yes.
when it comes to the dozer market.
Yes. I see you are referencing our biggest model at the moment with that 5 million rand
Yeah,
difference. We do have
yeah,
a lot of other
yeah,
options, a lot cheaper. So from 2 million
yeah,
rand upwards, yeah, we have every machine for every type of person, so, and any kind
yeah,
of industry. So from forestry, farming, mining, construction, earthworks, rail, whatever the case may be. Even road
Yeah.
grading, perfect for road grading. I mean, instead of getting
Yeah.
yeah. So we have every option.
Perfect. So it's something like, because you've got just go through the models quickly again
We have the
before
TY,
you.
we have the TY165-3, which is a very versatile machine. That obviously has two options. So there is the normal track, which is a 500 mil, and then a wide track. So obviously for muddy terrain and all that, it's got a 1,000 mil track as well. It's a mid-size machine. It's not a race suspension, so obviously it's like a standard dozer or track dozer. After that, we have a SD5K, which is our baby model. That's obviously the smaller one, which is also very, very well priced. That's on the lower end of the scale. Then we have a SD6K, which is also, they're all these little K models, they run the Weichai engines, which is obviously a very big brand. They started in marine and they are now into heavy plant equipment as well. They run a lot of like even the big brands, little sister companies that they also bringing to the market. They run the same motors. Very good brand. Also spare parts very widely available. After that, we have our SD7K, which is also the Weichai motor. Then after that is the SD7N. This is when we start getting into the more bigger horsepower Cummins motor, engines. All
Okay.
the series, sorry, the SD7K and the SD7N is where our raised sprocket suspension comes into play. So that's with the higher sprocket and the higher undercarriage. So it's a more versatile machine that can do a lot of uneven terrain. So obviously with the raised sprocket and the torque converters and everything a lot higher, the balance and reliability of the machine is a lot better. So obviously it also has ROPS and FOPS and all the the fallover protection and all that standard in every model in the closed cab with air conditioning. After that is our mid to large size range is the SD8N and our SD9N. So obviously you'll notice the 8 and the 9 and the 7, that is basically comparable to the other brands in the market.
To the D6, D7,
Pretty much,
D9.
it's
Yes.
pretty much on par or even or better in some cases. Obviously not tech-wise, but in standard workhorse, get the job done, reliable, efficient, whatever the case may be. Also exciting news, we did launch 2 new models, which is currently on the ground being tested in China. It's been obviously stuck in heavy terrain, like extreme weather, cold, hot. So they are busy testing those at the moment. Those are going to be our SD9N2, which is our 600 horsepower SD9. And then the SD10N, which is going to be our obviously a D10 equivalent. So a big heavy machine that can push a lot of earth, also 600 horsepower Cummins engine. So those should be available by the end of the year, close to next year only, after it's done 10, 20,000 hours. So obviously they're going to push those machines to the extreme to make sure everything's reliable 100% and running perfectly. Yeah. And those are
Absolutely
available at the moment.
Okay. Perfect. Like I said, I'll put a video on just to give an idea of the machines. And I think if anybody is interested, I'll put some contact information on the screen as well, and they can contact us and we can take it from there. But yeah, Derek, thanks a lot for your time. And I think the guys are going to like this, to have another option when it comes to the dozer market. But yeah, thanks a lot for all of the information. I think we delved in deep enough for people to if they have more questions, they can come back to us.
Yes, I'm here all the time, always available.
Perfect. Thanks a lot.
Thanks,
Thank you, David.
Pleasure.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
I'm the job, I get to this, going to this, I'm the job, I get to this, going to this.